I had one mentee, for instance, I don't know whether he was in your group, who said he was working in the property division of a large bank, and he had 12 properties, and he lost them all because even though he was learned and he was in the property division, he didn't have the insights and the nuances that we offer in the program. So it was good to see him graduate and say, look, he's going to start again from scratch, but he's glad he joined the mentorship. This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond. Hello and welcome wherever you're watching us from. Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. It's a privilege once again to bring you yet another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. Always a joy to interact with you in this platform. We've been together 6 years and counting, and you've made us what we are. We've done now well over 850 interviews, and we have over 1,000 videos that we have dropped. Thanks to you watching us, and we have an average of about 27,000 people viewing us every month. But I have a little gripe with you, viewer, and that is 80% of you neglect to press the subscribe button. So can I please beg you to say, if I'm going to continue to bring top quality entrepreneurs and seasoned entrepreneurs like this, I'm going to require your cooperation and your help in striking that subscribe button. But Brian Ketshabile is my guest, and he's going to talk about all things mentorship. We're going to focus on mentorship, specifically the Mogobe Real Estate Mentorship Program. Is the program worthwhile? Is it a waste of time? How has it impacted him? And how has it been able to be a force in his life in terms of changing the trajectory of his life? I'm going to be asking him those questions. The team and I felt that Mr. Mogobe, you're giving a lot of value. You are sharing with people what you can do for them in terms of these mentorship programs, but you haven't really sat down and interrogated them and given the people a chance to understand in full what the Mogobe Real Estate Mentorship Program is all about. So that's what we're going to discuss. He's going to first introduce himself. It's not his first time on the Nuggets. If you type the name Brian Ketshabile Mogobe Nuggets, his previous episode will come up. But just before we start, a little bit of housekeeping. Momp Nuggets of Grit, thank you for making me a bestseller, guys. We've sold over 1,000. And please, the book is still available, though. You come to Mogobe Plaza, first floor. You'll be able to get yourself a copy. Alternatively, you can go to to Airport Junction, Exclusive Books. We have a copy there available for you. Copies are being sold there. Also at Cesar Zakama International Airport. On your way out, you can grab yourself a copy to read on your flight, wherever you are heading. But thank you so much for taking the time out to watch the podcast. Let me welcome Mr. Brian Ketshabile to the studio. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mogobe. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Yes.
It gives me a lot of pleasure and joy
Yes.
to be able to interact with former mentees, or shall I call you an alumnus,
Yes,
part of the alumni of Mogobe Real Estate Mentorship Program. But I think before we talk about the program, perhaps you could just share your background briefly for those who have not seen the previous episode, which I think we shot 2.5 or 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Brian Ketshabile. Well, I'm an entrepreneur. I run a company called Brain Tech Services. Brain Tech Services is it started as a cleaning services business. Then we went into retail and healthcare laundry. We are basically manufacturing chemicals, manufacturing toilet paper. These chemicals are specifically for the food services industry, healthcare industry, and hospitality industry. So those are the industries that we are focusing on. And then I joined the real estate mentorship. We went into now property investment.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, that's who I am. I'm leading those two establishments. So far, we are not complaining.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. People say that we're in the middle of a recession, but I guess people in your area, because you are working and you are making a difference in the marketplace, you haven't felt much of a recession yet.
Not yet, but we are seeing there are signs. For now, obviously, when you are seeing signs, you need to prepare for those. There is a book that I read a while ago. It's a small yellow book. Who Moved My Cheese?
Yes, it's one of the books we prescribed. Yeah.
Yes, it basically tells you about moving with the changes. If you don't adjust to the changes, you are almost as dead. So yeah, we are seeing them. We are making necessary adjustments. Yeah.
Talk to me about MREMP. How did you find about the Mogobe Real Estate Mentorship Program?
Well, I spend most of my time, obviously, when I'm on social media. And there's always, I focus on things that fascinates my interest. And when I was scrolling on social media, I saw that there's a podcast. It was advertised on social media. I think one of the cohorts was graduating. Then I thought, oh, I have interest in this. Maybe this is something that I can benefit from. You know, when you have an interest in something, you need to place yourself in places where that thing is happening, so that you can learn to grow yourself. So that's how I really got to know about the mentorship.
Okay. What is the process of enrolling like? What does it entail?
No, it's really not complex. Normally, when it's advertised, the number is shared to say, if you are interested, just WhatsApp, send a WhatsApp. Details, they'll respond promptly and send the details on how to join. But it's a minimal fee. For me at the time, it was a minimal fee. You know, minimal fee is subject to everybody. But for me, it was a minimal fee compared to what I benefited from the program.
Okay. Now, what is the program real about, really? Can we go into the nitty-gritties?
You know, this program, it's very good, especially for somebody who doesn't know anything about real estate, because it takes you from just introduction, what real estate is, types of real estate, how to analyze deals, different markets in real estate, and also goes deeper into maybe the books that you can read to elevate your knowledge. You know, they'll recommend obviously the Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom as one of the podcasts, and also there's Bigger Pockets. Within Bigger Pockets, there's also Bigger Pockets Rookie and Bigger Pockets Money. You know, they point you in the right direction so that you can know what real estate is all about. So I guarantee you, even if you have no knowledge about real estate, it would be a very good platform to join.
Okay. This question I'm going to ask you, but it's going to make me very uncomfortable, your answer.
Okay.
Describe and tell me about the mentor who conducts this real estate program. Your impressions of him, and what impact, if any, they had on you.
No, let me tell you about this. For me, okay, I came in as a mentee like anybody else. But I think coming out of the program, I've built a good relationship with you. I mean, I think I had a chat with somebody and I told them, you know, my mentor, he's somebody who can go all out to help you. I've never seen somebody as successful as he is and willing to share information, even networks, because I don't know if you remember that I had a legal dispute with one organization,
one entity, one government entity.
Then you sat me down, just shared your opinion about the whole issue. And mind you, I ended up winning the case at the end of the day. So, I mean, for free, imagine. So, I mean, I've built a very good relationship. And I always say, whenever you need me, I'll come back.
Keep in mind that nothing is ever totally for free.
Yes.
There's at least some kind of exchange,
Exchange.
value exchange.
100%.
Never 100% mahala.
Yes. So, yeah, I think you are a very good mentor. You are very patient. You understand that, people who join these programs know nothing about real estate. So you are patient in trying to push people. Even during the program itself, when we were falling behind with the reading, you really never gave up and said, you guys, I tell you to go and read, you don't read. Hey, but you are there patient to say, guys, this is for your own benefit.
Yeah.
And one thing, again, I like is, this program, for you to have thought of this program, it shows that you are futuristic in trying to get a lot of Botswana into real estate, because I think we are far behind. We really need to understand a lot more about real estate and join in. You didn't hog the industry and say, because I'm also a real estate investor, I won't share my information. You said, no, I'll share it freely. And
I'll tell you what persuaded me the most was seeing in the government gazette, this is the publication that comes out every day, every Friday, showing what assets are to be sold and disposed of. Normally there would be a court-mandated process where the sheriff advertises what's going to be sold. And almost from cover to cover, every Friday, I saw that the assets that were being sold belong to Botswana. You have, names that are Botswana. I can give endless examples. Bo Mogobe are there, Bo Ketshabile are there, Bo Masisi are there, just to give typical Tswana names. It's Botswana whose assets are being disposed of. And that means that we're losing our property. But in terms of who acquires these assets, I can't say most of the time, but in a number of instances, it's people who are coming from outside to acquire these assets. So it made me very, very sad to see this pattern every Friday, because one of our companies, Clean Cities and Towns, the sanitation business, we've subscribed to the Gazette.
Yes.
And because a lot of our business is based on tendering on the sanitation side, sanitation and waste management side, we are forced to literally go through every page. And you see this. And between you and me, that's really what persuaded me the most, that this program is a necessary.
It is.
And I'm glad that I've started it because of the of this particular experience. But let me go back to you, Sam. You did mention when we were prepping that one of the advantages of the program was networking.
Yes.
In what sense and how did you benefit from networking?
Okay. During the program, there are two things. The expert real estate investors that are invited to share with us knowledge around real estate. I can name a few. When I was here, there was Ray Gilbert Sisinyi who came. There is the gentleman from Apex Properties,
Umesh Luna,
who came. There is Waboloka, who also came. So they shared information, practical experience. So it helps because now you have one-on-one contact with these people. You are able to build your network from there. And also the mentees themselves. We come from different backgrounds. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm into hygiene services. And then there were lawyers there were accountants. So there are different people
Engineers.
that you get to interact. There were engineers there. So there are different people from different spheres that you are able to interact with, and you share a common goal in terms of real estate investment. So you are able to share ideas. already now you know that there is a lawyer that I met during the mentorship. When you have an issue, you can easily ask them, how can I approach this thing? Even the experts who are invited here, you can always engage with them when you need advice, either through consultants or just picking up a phone and saying, I met you through the program, I wanted to ask a few questions, and they're always willing to share. So that's basically an easy way of building your network around real estate.
Yes, indeed. Now let's talk also about insights and learnings. What would you say are some of the key learnings and insights that you picked up?
All right. The biggest thing that I've learned in the program is debt is okay. I was one person who was afraid of debt, like terrified of debt. But now I know how to structure debt, to know that debt is good, especially in real estate. What I normally did is, when you buy a house, you want to pay it off immediately and say, this is my asset. But it becomes an asset when it puts money into your pocket. So you can easily use that asset to build your portfolio from there, using equity release to buy another property. And then over and above that, I've learned how to analyze deals. Like you were saying, you always see properties advertised. You'll say property is 1.5 million. But how do you know it's worthwhile, it's a good deal? I'm able to know outright to say, no, this is a bad deal. I'll rather walk away. And if I don't walk away, I'll try and negotiate my way into a good deal. So those are things that I didn't know before I joined the mentorship program. And the other thing is just understanding that real estate is broad. I knew only residential, to say, no, I'm building a house rented to tenants. But there are other different real estate. You can do commercial, being offices. You can build storage units to rent them out. And then strategies around making sure that you maximize on your real estate. There is also house hacking that I've learned. You can house hack to maximize your income. You can do short-term rentals, long-term rentals. So those are things that I really learned when I joined the mentorship program. So I've learned quite a lot. I don't just walk in. And then the key message again that I learned is, don't fall in love with brick and mortar. Fall in love with the deal itself. So you analyze the deal, no matter how nice the property is. If it doesn't make business sense, just walk away. Yeah,
that's a very important one. I keep emphasizing it. But you mentioned house hacking, and somebody watching may be saying to themselves, what on earth is house hacking?
Okay. House hacking is where, maybe say you have a 3-bedroomed house. Then you don't want to rent it out. It may be risky to rent it out to one individual, because if they don't pay, you lose out. But now you have these 3 bedrooms. Maybe all of them are in suite. Then people rent out their spaces, maybe share common areas, so that you maximize. In that case, for a house, maybe that will go for 5,000. Now you are renting out rooms, and then they share common spaces. You can easily go to 8,000 instead of 5,000. That's how you maximize the income.
Wow. Now, let's hear about the some of the friendships you developed, because when we are prepping, we mentioned that you're also able to develop friendships from the mentorship program.
Yes. Well, I have a lawyer friend. We are constantly in touch as well, in terms of, especially when tenants are giving me a hard time. I ask, so how do I approach this thing? how should I address issues like this, and even just sale agreements. If I'm interested in buying a property, before going to a lawyer, I'll say, okay, what are the things that I need to take care of in this deal? So they can, through friendships, through that network, they can easily say, no, just do this. The important clauses are these. I've learned this on in the program itself, but also practically. It's always easy to have somebody that you need to keep in touch with.
Yeah.
And also an engineer friend as well that I've learned, in terms of structural engineers, is if the structure is good or not. Sometimes when you have a structural drawing, over coffee you can say, okay, look at this structure, does it make sense, is it okay? When I meet with the engineer himself, what questions should I ask? So that, and sometimes if you don't know anything and you are not prepared for to ask the right questions, you may overlook some of the details that are important. And also, I think I've learned again through the program that even networking outside the program, just knowing people at the city council, maybe the planning division, people from the architectural.
Because some of them join the program.
Yes, so it's important to know those people.
Yeah.
Because along your journey of real estate, you will need those professionals to help you go further.
I must tell you that the program has grown quite a bit from the time you were there. I think we're talking about 15, 18 people in the group.
Yes.
When we launched this past Sunday, over 55 people joined
nice.
the WhatsApp group.
That's nice.
And it has grown in leaps and bounds. And my prayer and wish is to have Botswana come into a better understanding of real estate, of property, and avoiding the value of death, so to speak, when it comes to property. I had one mentee, for instance, I don't know whether he was in your group, who said he was working in the property division of a large bank, and he had 12 properties, and he lost them all because even though he was learned and he was in the property division, he didn't have the insights and the nuances that we offer in the program. So it was good to see him graduate and say, look, he's going to start again from scratch, but he's glad he joined the mentorship
now
program.
He comes in from a position of knowledge.
Yes. Which leads me to my next question in terms of yourself specifically. What was your real estate position in terms of assets, in terms of units, in terms of doors, and what is it now? And please take us through the transition as well.
Well, before I joined, I did just, I did have properties like 6 units. But these were just random, when you have funds to put somewhere. You said, no, the best place is to have a house to rent out so that it can generate money. But I can guarantee you, I didn't have the knowledge to say, but after building or buying this property, was it a good deal at the end of the day? I bought because I had funds that I could buy that particular asset. But for now, I'll guarantee you to say, I know that God was with me with those six units, because after knowing how to analyze, I thought, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah. So after joining this, we really accelerated big time, from 6 units to now 32.
Wow.
And now working on another 16. So that's
16 plus 32 will take it to
1632. That's
48. In a space of what, 2 years, 3 years?
In a space of 3 years, I'll say 3 years, because at the moment we haven't started construction, and now getting funding from the banks is also slow, given how the economy is performing. But the plans are ready. We are just waiting for that green light. But for now, we are at 32.
Yes. What kind of units and how did you go about acquiring and developing them using some of the skills you acquired from the program?
Yes, there's 6. These are 2-bedroomed houses. And then the other 26, these are studio pairs. These are studio pairs where you have one room, small kitchenette, and a shower. Those are the ones. We deliberately went that direction because we believed when the economy is not as booming as this one, you need to accommodate maybe the people who are conscious on spending too much on rent. So that's what we did. And then in terms of developing these units, we have a property which was valued at about 2 point something million. We used that as equity release to get funding to acquire a plot and build. Yeah.
What is equity release?
Equity release is where you have a property, it's valued, and then you are able to use that value of the property to get access to funding in a bank. Say, for example, you have a bank finance property. It's valued at 3 million, but at the bank you owe it, say, 500. That means the equity release that you can get from that property is 2.5 million. That's the difference between your current debt and the value of the property.
Subject to LTV, isn't it?
Yes.
You still remember what LTV is? Loan to value.
Loan to value, yes.
Because the bank will have its own rules about what's the maximum amount that it
100%.
can allow.
Yes.
It used to be up to 80%. When the economy is good, it can even be 100% or 105. When the economy is a bit tight, the banks will slide it down. There was up to even 60% sometimes. So it's a very interesting notion. So you practically applied it.
Yes.
And then what happened?
That's when now we developed the 26 units. Because now this is a property that will now want to refinance to develop the 16 that we are planning to develop. Yes.
Why do you believe that property is a solution to challenges relating to unemployment and to poverty that we have?
Well, a property on its own, if you grow your portfolio nicely, for us, you can hire a lot of people. You have facilities managers, you have maintenance people that you can hire. You really have people with different skills, the plumbers, the electricians. So the more we develop, the more we create employment. But also as the property owner as well. That's good income. I cannot say it's passive income as people may say, because it comes with its own challenges. The maintenance, tenants calling you, there is that, and those delinquent tenants as well that you need to chase after. So it's not really passive at the end of the day, but it's less pressure than
it's less active than a 9 or rather an 8 to 5.
An 8 to 5, yeah.
Now, in terms of the opportunities, are you able to identify opportunities better as a result of the program? And if so, can you give a few examples?
100%. I'm able to do that. Okay. One thing that I've learned from this program is these 4 Ds. That's where the opportunities lie. There is debt, there is death, there is disease, and divorce.
Number 5 is disinvestment.
Disinvestment.
Actually, 5 Ds.
Oh, yes. Disinvestment. So these 4 categories or 5 categories, people sell most of the time that's where you are going to find good deals, because people are not chasing after profits, they just want to dispose. And now, because they want to dispose, you are able to get a good deal, analyze and see, okay, this is a profitable deal, I can take it. So that understanding how to analyze deals, that I've learned from, it's very important, because some of the deals you'll just pass by because you don't know whether it's a good deal or not. So it really helps.
That's good. Now, you've chosen a particular niche, which is multi-residential.
Yeah.
But you have identified that there are other niches like commercial, and retail and so on. And so talk a little bit about that and why you've chosen this particular niche.
I've chosen the residential because I looked at the statistics. I think these were shared. I think it's either they are shared by FNB and Setebe Manake, that there is dire need of accommodation in the country. So I've realized, there is still a market there. And again, for us, it was a deliberate move to say, this is our start. This is our starting point. As we grow our portfolio, now we'll go into others. But for now, we thought there is a huge need here that we need to address before investing in other areas.
Okay, so which means you might even be interested in getting a commercial for purpose of using in your other businesses as well.
Yes, the land is there already.
Tell me about that.
We are doing it in stages.
What is the plan?
The plan is to go into commercial, like warehouses, but outside Gaborone.
Okay.
The land is there. It's just for
Is it
us
going to complement the manufacturing side of what you do?
Yes. The land is in Palape. Palape, you know that government just announced that they'll be building an airstrip next year. Palape is sort of the center or a transit of trucks coming from Martin's Drift to Zambia, to Zimbabwe, maybe trucks coming from there, Martin's Drift. So it's a central place that we really need to capture that market through our manufacturing, even getting the raw material. The raw materials that we get from South Africa. So it's easy when you have a busy road like that one, a busy transit area like that one, to have a warehouse there that you can build and manufacture.
Okay.
So obviously in our other businesses, the plan is to scale.
Yes.
So you need to scale and have your own premises that will lower your overheads.
So that's how real estate meets manufacturing.
Yes.
Yeah, because you now be renting from an entity in which you have an interest as well.
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
which is what we do here. Yeah. All right. Now, there's never smooth sailing in terms of being part of this program. You already hinted the fact that I used to lament the fact that people have not read and so on. So what were the processes or the I don't want to say the dark side, but what some of the tough things that you had to contend with in terms of the program?
During the program itself.
Yeah. 'Cause it's never smooth sailing.
It's never smooth sailing. For me, it's not a very difficult thing, because already I was an entrepreneur. You have to sacrifice time. It's on a Sunday morning. So some of
Right
us,
into the afternoon.
yes, right into the afternoon. Many people consider that as a rest day. But for you have to come to class, listen, take notes, and you have to also prepare before you go to class. So that means some part of your Saturday you need to do some work if you haven't done it during the week. I think that would be the most difficult thing. But other than that, it's just information absorbing and interacting. In terms of the presentations in class, I mean, I've already been doing that through my business, so it wasn't as difficult.
It wasn't a problem for
The
you.
most difficult thing for me is now. Being in front of the camera, that's
Yeah.
the most difficult thing.
But you're doing a brilliant job.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
very much.
So standing in front of people to present wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
What about reading itself? Because a lot of people complain that reading is hard.
Yes, because we'll be given 2 books to read in a space of 2 weeks.
Sometimes 4.
Sometimes 4. That was the difficult thing. Because already we are running businesses, we are doing this and that projects. So if you have to consolidate all of that and reading within 2 weeks, that was the most challenging. But you have to be strategic. So, sometimes if you really want something, you will make it happen somehow. I think that's how God made us.
Yeah.
If you really want something, you find ways to.
Sometimes my team and I, we make the claim that we actually create multimillionaires through this program. Is that a true claim? And in your case,
200%.
Can you support it?
200%. No, I mean, growing a portfolio from 6 to 32.
And
I wouldn't say
and
the
with
value of the
16
property
in the pipeline.
Plus 16 in the pipeline. I won't say the value, but it's more than $1 million, of course.
Yeah, a lot more.
So yeah, you really do create, because probably if I didn't join, I wouldn't be able to seize these opportunities that I'm seizing now, and I wouldn't be able to grow our portfolio like we are doing now.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have just been satisfied with the 6, because the 6 I was doing with cash. I didn't get any financing. So I'll wait for me to accumulate a bit of money to go into another project. But for now, you can just grow.
So you've been able to unlock value.
Yes. So definitely it's creating. And one thing that I've learned is to be confident and tell yourself that I am a millionaire.
Yeah. Which you are.
Which a lot of us, Botswana, we are always conservative about just speaking these things into our lives. We are always trying to play shy and say, no, ito ay no gotta get ipoka,
How say pokota bokakema?
True.
And that's another thing I want to deal with for a second, because one of the things I teach is that the biggest real estate is between your ears.
Yes.
Because when you talk of your emotions, when you talk about your mindset, when you talk about your your psychology and even your philosophy, it's all between the ears. So that's why I say the biggest real estate is between your ears. So in relation to that, why do you say Botswana, although heavily educated like we are, we're not making it as much as we could be making it, especially in the real estate sphere?
One, the biggest one is being afraid of debt. I think that's one thing that is profound for me. Because for you to be able to scale in real estate is for you to accept that debt is okay. Like I was saying, using equity release, that's getting into debt, but getting into good debt, because you are taking those funds and investing into another property. Now you won't be owing, and then you can use that property, which is called refinancing. You refinance that property to build another, so you can easily scale that way. Unlike how I began, where when you have cash you can build. I mean, how much cash are you going to accumulate, and how long will it take to accumulate that cash to be able to go into your next project?
Yeah. But I'm talking generally, I'm talking mindset. Why are people not empowering themselves when opportunities exist in terms of the knowledge available online and elsewhere, and even in terms of these mentorship programs, but people are not taking full advantage?
I would say probably, I don't know if it's lack of knowledge or focusing our efforts into something else. Because like you are saying, information is there everywhere. Maybe and
the information is not structured,
the information
or packaged,
is not structured,
which is what we do in this program.
You know, So with programs like this, I'm sure more and more people will join. And one thing I love about this program is it's local. You know, most of the maybe information that is there would probably be from South Africa, the United States, but now you are bringing it down here. When you are sharing your experiences, you are sharing experiences that happened here. So I think maybe people will now easily relate to that, to say, okay, Mr. Mogobe is Botswana just like myself. He grew up in Kanye from 2 cattle posts. I mean, typical Botswana grew up like that. So it's relatable, you know. So people can easily jump in, and I think the interest will grow.
Yeah. Now, of the different guests, can you mention some of them who came and spoke to you, and what learnings or impact they had?
Oh, I'll have to say Gilbert Sisi. That gentleman is so passionate about land ownership. I realized that land, no matter where it is valuable, because they're not even making more of it anyway. He taught us that how to increase the value of the land that you have. What possibilities are there when you have land? He taught us about sectional titles. Sectional titles. You know, he's just so passionate. The value of land. To say if maybe government is to repossess, what actions do you need to take
To
protect yourself against that repossession, or at least get what you deserve for that land. So I think that has stuck with me for a lifetime. Every time he speaks about land, it's more of, I think it strikes some spiritual feeling within.
Within you.
Yes. To say, no, we need to protect our land as much as possible.
Anybody else?
Who else came?
I don't know whether Mulifinyane came when you were here,
Mulifinyane didn't
or somebody like Ma Alfred.
Ma Alfred as well. She also shared in terms of property development, to say, as young as she is, she started real estate development from a young age when she was still at uni. So that is also inspirational, to say you don't need to have gone further in terms of education, or you don't need to reach 40 to start. You need to start as early as possible. I believe it's more advantageous to start while we are still at university, just to learn, at least to try and bid for even if you don't have money, you just put in an offer, you will see. But it teaches you, to say, you are getting practical experience on how these things are done. So I think that was one. She's one of the guests that stood out, to say she started from in university, and then now she's where she is.
And of course they share their scars and their war stories and their setbacks, and as well as their triumphs. So you can learn a lot from that. I always say that sometimes it's better to learn from the mistakes and shortcomings of others, rather than have to experience some of these things yourself. So that is another, if I could say so myself, a powerful aspect of the program. Because I also open up on some of my worst mistakes and setbacks and disasters, so that hopefully you can avoid experiencing the same.
100%.
Now, in terms of your cohort, are you in touch formally, and how do you maintain that camaraderie that you had during the mentorship program?
Yes, besides just being in touch individually, we have a WhatsApp group that we formed after This is where when you have maybe there is an opportunity elsewhere, you just throw it in the group. Or when you have a question that you feel any one of them can address, you just throw it in the group. It's not a very active group because it's specifically for that.
Yes.
So there is no chitty-chatting back and forth. So we keep in touch where necessary, and where there are things, opportunities, like whether adverts, whether government is looking for housing, somebody will throw an advert in there to say, if you have something, please try your luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there any suggestions you might have as to how the program can be improved or things could be made better? There's always room for improvement, isn't there?
Yes. I think, okay, I think I missed out on the session when Mr. Chisoro.
Yeah.
The
when builder, yeah.
Yes, I think I missed out on that one. But I think we should also dwell more into development in terms of the stages, where go to the mistakes to look out for, in terms of how to manage the site itself, to ensure that there is no wastage in development, and also just critical elements to look at when you are developing. I think if we can also
we've amplified on that a little bit, because especially with the shift in the economy, where the banks have tightened up, interest rates have gone crazy, it might be advisable to pivot a bit more on the developmental side. And there are some skills, techniques and insights that specifically apply that. We are lucky as Mogobe Incorporated in that our growth trajectory has encompassed both development and acquisition. So we've now shifted slightly, ever so slightly more on the development side, while looking at the economy a bit more to see how things will, so that we can ramp up again on the acquisition side.
100%.
So for us, and for me as a mentor, I would like people to skill themselves in both areas. No, so thank you for that feedback. It's something we're working on. Now, let's talk long term. Last time I did ask you about your medium to long term outlook. On the real estate side, what is the long-term plan, even beyond the 16 units that you are about to start building?
The target is to go to 100.
100 units.
100 units. That's our target. But that being the combination of commercial and also residential. And then one market that I'm also looking at, storage facilities. And then I think those are the areas those are long term. But allow for us to say, okay, now we are okay. We are not stopping to invest, but we are doing okay. Is where we are at 100 units. There is a book that I read, The Psychology of Money. What it says is you need to identify your goalposts to know that this is my target, this is how I want to live. And then beyond that, now it's extra. You know that it's extra. You are satisfied, you can do more. Being satisfied doesn't mean you stop. It means no, you are okay, even if you don't get more, but you are okay. But that's our goal post, really.
I'll touch on some of the books that I prescribed, and I will elicit a comment from you as to what you think of that book, how it impacted you, what you learned from it. I'll just maybe pick 3 or 4 random books. The first one being the one by Scott Trench, which is the book on yes, I'm actually testing to see if you remember.
Scott Trench, Set for Life.
Set for Life, yes.
No,
your comments on that one?
Set for Life, what I've learned is to be frugal. I think he was emphasizing more on frugality. To say there are things we spend money on, that we could actually be saving. I think one example that he gave is, instead of hiring a gardener, you can do that as your part of exercising, to say you do gardening to exercise. You are also exercising but also saving money. So those are the things that I've learned. I don't know if it's still the same one that...
Well, that's from Scott Trench. Let's talk about The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller.
Formulas. Analyzing deals. That one is specifically... What I've learned is analyzing deals, making sure which formula goes where. So that also, it's very good. Yes.
And then there's a book on numbers by Giaffanelli.
Yeah,
a book on number
36
metrics. Yeah.
Yes. Also, that one is about deal analyzing. So, Leone, it's very good. You need to also dwell in that. But for me, I think for now, I only use that 36. I think
metrics.
I've applied 5 now.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I've said to you that there only really ultimately about 12.
Yes.
Tops, maybe 10 crucial ones. The others are if you want to be geeky and just go deeper. But if you understand those metrics. And I say that you can actually be able to say yay or nay in a space of 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
At the back of an envelope, you can decide because of the skill set that you would have acquired. The other book is by a man called it's Real Estate Riches by Rolf de Roos, I think. The one that talks about 131. You remember?
100. Oh, yes. It's about deal chasing.
Yes.
Yes. It's about deal chasing, to say you have to open up your basket, knowing that if you got 100 deals, your target should be 100 deals, knowing that maybe the best deals you will get 10 out of 100. So by going after 100 is to just open up your scope to increase your chances of getting good deals.
Yeah.
So don't just go looking for just one deal, because in that way you are going to give up and say it's because good deals are hard to come by. I want to say that. But you need to keep on chasing, just increase the numbers, visit and
I've also expanded the program since you were last there, and I don't know what you think of what we've done. I teach on inspirational things that have a Botswana context. For instance, I teach on the Kgosi Sitshele, and I make the argument that Kgosi Sitshele was an entrepreneur, and I make the argument that he had certain inherent entrepreneurial and real estate skills where he protected his territory and he grew his tribe, and of course he had those famous wars where he repelled so I try to show people that look, we have our own heroes here, and it's time that we actually talk about our own heroes. Another thing that we've done is to expand the program to talk about negotiation tactics. For instance, I teach them Batna, things that I've learned from my experience as a arbitrator, because I've done arbitration and mediation, and I'm a certified arbitrator in terms of having registered with the Botswana Institute of Arbitrators, and I emphasize the importance of Batna. You know what Batna is? Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. And I make the argument that before you entangle yourself in a negotiation, have options.
Yes.
In terms of knowing what is the best alternatives, because you have those options. You just don't go into a deal with just one awareness of one deal.
Yes.
You'll have a similar deal that will help you look at your Batna. And then I teach them about ZOPA. ZOPA is zone of possible agreement. You come to an agreement with a zone in mind of where you can So I've enhanced the value by adding such things and really going to that. And I have a thing called a deep dive, where I, even where you're studying books, I break it down into 10 nuggets that focus on the juiciest, most beneficial morsels of knowledge or nuggets of wisdom from a particular book. And I wonder, as a former mentee or as an alumnus, what do you think of some of these improvements?
It's very good. It's very good, because I think we didn't have negotiation during our time. Yeah, because I also, after that, chasing after deals, obviously you need to hone your skills in terms of negotiating. I had to do that outside the program.
Oh, I see.
There is a book that I read, Chris Voss. What is it called?
It has to do with negotiation.
Yes, it has to do. He's one of the renowned FBI negotiators of all time.
Yes.
So you learn through that. I think negotiating is a very key aspect in real estate. It's very good.
I've actually introduced a book by another CIA agent, former CIA agent, on the real estate program. Remember that on the mentorship program. Remember, we have also a mentorship program side by side with the real estate program. So I'm glad you think those improvements are worthwhile. So maybe I should give you a chance just to, as we wrap up, to tell the viewer why finally you believe that they should enroll or take the time to be part of this mentorship program. We have improved it quite a bit. I don't know whether at your time it was possible to watch online. So now you can watch online. We have people, we have one mentee who's recently graduated who was watching us from Shanghai, China, or near China.
Okay. That's
And
nice.
now we have people in Francistown. There are literally people who I met for the first time during the graduation who have just been joining online. Maung, one in Maung, and another definitely one in Francistown. So it has gone global in that sense. So I'm just wondering what you would say, maybe look at that camera as a final message or to the guests. But maybe before you talk to the camera, you can ask me a question, and then we'll wrap up with that, with your answer to that question.
What can I ask now?
I've always given you an opportunity, given my guests an opportunity to ask a question.
To ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Where you are now, based on your analysis, would you say you are achieving, well, through this program, are you achieving what you intended this program to achieve? And what is your outlook into the future concerning the program?
That's a very good question. I would say that yes, we can tick all the boxes, getting Botswana to be more interested in real estate, getting them to appreciate the value of real estate, getting them to understand that wealth creation is a conscious, deliberate effort, and in general, maintaining. I think we are now close to 1,000 mentees since we started, because we have 10 cohorts on the real estate side, and then we have 3 on the entrepreneurship side. So you can imagine we have an average of 35 to 40 people at any given time receiving information, 45 people. So 45 times 2, that's 90. And you multiply that over 13. I did the numbers that we're close. If we haven't exceeded 1,000, we're close to doing so. I'll just cross-check. So I think we're conscientizing people, because the other thing that we do is every session is recorded. We have an in-house photographer. Graduations, we actually bring a videographer, and we put it on social media so that awareness is there. So that people can be aware, oh, there's something available that can help us. And we have stories like yours, which are POC, proof of concept. So as long as we have those things, so I would say all the boxes are ticked. What I'm asking is just to give me strength, God to give me strength to continue, and then also, of course, to empower those around me to a point where they would be able to even do these things even in my absence. My son Otlaha is beginning to so we'll see whether he can get to that level, and then Leo and maybe to some extent Josejo, the team, they should be able to do that. And some of our managers, they actually do the presentations. I invite somebody like Khape, somebody like Moalusi Mwesi to come and make presentations. So in that sense, yes, all the boxes have been ticked, and we are realizing our dream. And then financially now it's also become monetizable and worthwhile because it's self-funding now. We're able to fund some of these activities because these things don't come from mahala. Cameras is not mahal, so it's self-funding now. So we are happy with that.
Awesome.
My question was the final motivational or inspirational message urging the viewer to be part of this program.
All right. Viewers, I would like to encourage you to join this mentorship program. As for me, I'm just a typical Botswana. I'm a young guy who grew up in Lobatse. Componing, if anybody knows where componing is, Lobatse. But I was able to grow in real estate and do a bit of investment through this program. It's a very interactive program. You read a lot, and also the mentor himself shares his personal experiences, and these are local experiences that you'll be able to relate to. So anything he'll be sharing with you, it's something that is relatable. You can easily pick the lessons, and then the experts that are brought into the program as well. These are local investors. These are local experts who will make things easy for you to understand. It's unlike maybe learning something from YouTube, from the US, from Europe. Here, these are examples, our local examples, and you can actually see the proof physically with the buildings to show you this is the building that I've invested in. So I will encourage you to join this program because it will be worthwhile, I guarantee you.
Thank you very much indeed. It remains for me, dear viewer, to thank you for taking the time to watch this. Hopefully, there's something that has been said that will persuade you. If you reach out to us, we'll be able to share with you the curriculum. If you reach out to us, we'll be able to share further insights and information. And then if you follow us on social media, you'll be able to know where next we are in terms of either graduation ceremonies, launches, and even our various offerings and so on. So we really appreciate your taking the time out. Don't forget about the book. Just grab it from Exclusive Books or from our office. And thank you so much. Lastly and finally, strike that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.